Hi everyone, thanks for your interest in viewing this video. As can be seen from the title, in this video I'm going to talk about why teachers should apply a cognitive linguistics approach to teaching and learning English grammar. Research shows that grammar is taught traditionally. The teacher presents students with the contextualized sentences along with the rules and exceptions, and students have to rote memorize the rules. For example, in the sentence, they have to know the rule which is use present continuous to talk about activities in progress, and they have to memorize this. Unfortunately, rules can be too broad, and there are lots of exceptions, and this can lead to overgeneralization. So, we can say that the traditional way of teaching grammar is not always okay. So, in this presentation, I'm going to discuss an alternative approach to teaching grammar, namely cognitive linguistics. According to this approach, language learning is usage-based, and language is a reflection of our general cognitive processes. And I shall argue here that English teachers and materials developers should find this approach interesting, and therefore they should consider applying it to teaching grammar. My first argument is that cognitive linguistics puts heavy emphasis on meaning and meaning making. Grammatical features are treated as meaningful as vocabulary, although grammatical meanings are usually more abstract. Cognitive linguistics also explains how meanings can be extended systematically in language use. Let's look at prepositions in, on, and at as our first examples. We know that prepositions are used to describe the relationship between a figure and a ground, and we might also be aware that at represents a zero-dimensional ground, on one and two-dimensional grounds, and in three-dimensional ground. But we might not know yet that based on the dimension, each preposition has a core meaning. The core meaning of at is pointing, on, contact and supports, and in, containment. These core meanings are metaphorically extended. Special prepositions are used to talk about time because of the metaphor time is space. For example, temporal at specifies a point in time in the same way spatial at specifies a point in space. These explanations are arguably more comprehensive, sufficient, and eye-opening than rules, but most importantly, they are more effective. Studies by Tyler and Vijaya and Ong have lent support to this claim. My second argument is that cognitive linguistics works well with task-based language teaching. Task-based language teaching utilizes real-life tasks to encourage learners to use the target grammatical form meaningfully. Thus, cognitive linguistics and TBLT focus on meaning and meaning making. Basing on cognitive linguistic insights, the teacher can provide information on the target form. This can help learners express meaning while they are doing the tasks. Finally, cognitive linguistic informed explanations can increase students' motivation and enjoyment in studying grammar. We know that motivation is really important but difficult to maintain. Because cognitive linguistic insights are more revealing and helpful, students may find learning grammar more intriguing, and so they will be more motivated. Let's see a cognitive linguistic approach to understanding the count-mass distinction in English as our next example. We've been taught that English nouns are categorized as countable and uncountable. But how do we decide if a noun is countable? From a cognitive linguistic perspective, countable nouns are objects, whereas uncountable nouns are substances. To decide if an entity is an object, first we need to see if it has clear outlines. If it doesn't, it's a substance. Objects also consist of various parts, while substances only have similar parts. Here, as you can see, a car consists of wheels, lights, doors, windows, and so on. This makes a car an object. However, salt doesn't consist of different parts like a car. Finally, objects have clear beginning and end, which serve as boundaries. Substances, on the other hand, don't. There are no clear beginning and end. Therefore, there are no boundaries. Here, I use coffee as an example. We know that coffee is uncountable, but we often hear English native speakers say, 2 coffees, please. This is because containers are used as boundaries. On the other hand, in I love drinking coffee, coffee is perceived as a substance because there's no container and so no boundaries. In sum, cognitive linguistics emphasizes on meaning and meaning making. This makes it compatible with task-based language teaching, and its focus on meaning making can also motivate learners. These claims have empirical support, so teachers, why not employ it now? That's pretty much my presentation. Thank you for your attention.